Hello everyone, welcome back to the coverage desk here at the Pokemon Trading Card Game Regional Championships here in Liverpool. I'm Freya Pierce, I'm here with Shay Burton, and Shay, I'm not going to lie, so we just saw me sort of a while ago talking about, people to watch out for in this tournament, and I feel a little bit vindicated right now going into this finals.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we can't hear what you were saying, but I believe two of the players you said to look out for made it in top 8, right, and one of them has made it in the final.
Yes, exactly. So Sando's one of the players we mentioned there during the sort of players to watch out for. I was like, I guess me, but it's the stream, right? So it's all the same. And he made top 8, did lose in top 8 to Stefan, who was now all the way in the finals as well.
Yeah, Stefan Ivanov, one of the premier players in Europe, making an argument to be one of the best players in Europe, and no slouch and no stranger to these finals in these big events, and he is definitely going to be a scary opponent.
Absolutely is, and I said it during the people to watch out for. I'm going to say it again. Stefan is going to be hungry for another big finish. He's no stranger to big finishes. He's had so many accomplishments over his time during the game, including 2 North American International Championship wins. But his most recent really big finish was second place at this season's Bilbao special event. And since then, he got top 32 at the Latin American International Championships, a top 64 in Warsaw. But he hasn't really made it out of the top 8 since then. And here he is now in the finals against Leon.
Yeah, and ignore what it says there about Lugia V-Star. Stefan is playing Guja V-Star, not Lugia, a Lost Box style. There it is, Guja, Lost Box style deck. And let's not make no mistake about Leon, though. An up-and-coming player, actually has a top 32 finish, I should say, at the Bilbao event on the 7th of May. And one interesting storyline there is, at that very event that Leon got his day 2 at, Stefan also got a top 16.
Yes.
So here we go.
Kind of a shared top day 2 in that sort of sense. Not the one where Stefan got second, but the Bilbao special event from last season. But yeah, we are kicking off here. Leon is going first. Starts off with 3 Mews out onto the field, a double Turbo Energy onto 1 on the bench, and a Forest Seal Stone for good measure, and going to go for that Star Alchemy straight away. Really getting
the Mews out nice and fast, getting that Star Alchemy tool card. Probably just going to find, not only a prize card search here, but probably going to find a VIP battle pass and get some Genesex down, because we know that is the lifeblood of the Mew deck, Fusion Strike system, letting you draw cards. And while Leon is doing that deck search, let's have a look at the prize cards here. So looking at Leon, we do see the Oricorio prized. We see 1 copy of Cross Switcher, it can be a bit annoying, and a Boss's Orders actually, and an Escape Rope. How many Escape Ropes does Leon actually play?
Just
he
the one.
Only plays the one. Now that was going to be one of Leon's actual win conditions here, because once that rolling attack gets going, what's it called again?
Rolling Iron.
Rolling Iron. Once the Rolling Iron gets rolling, funny enough, it reduces damage by 80. Really important. There is one sort of counterplay to that. Leon can Escape Rope, push it out the active, or double Cross Switch out the active, and then bring it back either via Cross Switches or Boss's Orders. And that's going to be hard when your only copy of Escape Rope, a Cross Switcher, and a Boss's Orders are all prized.
Yeah, absolutely. Leon, a bit more limited in options to do that sort of clever play in order to be able to switch off the Rolling Iron effect. And of course, if Stefan can make that stick, that's kind of how the deck wins, right? You essentially put up this tank that needs to be hit by an effective 350 damage attack to be knocked out. Yeah. And then if you don't knock out 1 hit, it can heal itself off with the Moisture Star.
Yeah, because just in case we don't really know how Guja works, Guja is V-Star ability lets you just completely heal off damage, and its attack does 200 damage and also reduces damage next turn by 80. A real big irritant.
Yeah, it is. It is the biggest, sort of aggressive but also tanking deck in the format. And I think Stefan made a really clever call actually in picking it for this event. I think he saw an opening that this kind of Gudra Lost Box variant could be really strong going into this meta game, and he's all the way in the finals. So I think he made a very good call there.
100%, and actually having that Oricorio prize can also be a bit irritating, because that means the Rolling Iron can KO Genesex now, and otherwise it wouldn't have been able to.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the maths just works out. 190 HP, of course, so 200 will be enough, but the Oricorio would have stopped it.
Now, looking at Stefan, he had to lead the Luminium, which isn't going to be great. But what is in time, we do see a Colossus Experiment, and while Stefan looks at these cards, there's the Drapion. Well, that is definitely not going to hit the last one. I was about to say, Stefan does have some outs to Mew, mostly Drapion, Temple of Sinnoh as well.
Yeah, that's something very important. We haven't had a chance to talk about the deck lists in precision for this match just yet, but yeah, that Drapion V-Tech card is in Stefan's list, and at any time, Stefan could just hold that in the hand, and once Leon brings down a Mew VMAX, you can just bench the Drapion, bring it to the active, and of course, course, with the ability of reducing the attack cost for every Fusion Strike Pokemon that Leon has, can just attack for free and take a easy one-hit knockout on a Mew VMAX.
Yeah, that Drapion is extremely scary with that wild style ability. I love the ability name. I don't like the card that much, but I love the ability name. Letting the Dynamic Tail attack for free, 190 times 2 for weakness is always going to KO with VMAX. And you have to imagine if Drapion is left unchecked, can take 3 prizes, and you have to imagine in a realistic world that Goodra can take the next 3 on a Mew VMAX.
You know, something sort of a little bit of an aside here. I can't wait to get my hands on the new reprint of Drapion V that's been printed now.
Oh, yeah, the clay one.
It looks absolutely adorable. More durable than any Drapion has a right to be.
I'm sure from a Mew player's perspective, it's not adorable
not at all.
Worth noting as well for the Drapion here for Stefan, he's actually played 2 copies of Ordinary Rod, so if all else fails, Stefan could just go for a Drapion, Rod, Drapion game plan, because Leon, this isn't a Fusion Strike, a Fusion Energy build, I should say, so you are going to have to be attacking with a 3 prize Pokemon, and that plays perfectly into 2 Drapion attacks.
Yeah, it is, and that's exactly why Leon has got the 2 Lost Cities in there. He'll want to make sure that when he KOs a Drapion, the Lost City is down, so that he can send that Drapion V to the Lost Zone and make sure that Stefan can't get it back.
Yeah, so many counters to the counters to the counters here, and I guess one sort of soft win con for Leon is here, similar to how we see the Lugia decks. If you only get 1 Lugia down going second, you can try and, you know, boss them out, Grinch them out, stop the Goodra from even becoming an issue. But if that is the case, if you try and go for that, the Drapion can come out and start wrecking the party. So it's going to be a real interesting game.
Yeah, it really, really is. Now, Stefan taking a good look here. Just going to make sure that, again, so important to have the prize knowledge to know what you have to work with, what you don't have to work with. There is 1 Roxanne prize for Stefan, but Stefan does play 2, so that's not the end of the world. In fact, I don't think he has any of his 1-offs prize, so that's we're going to feel pretty good, actually.
And that's one of the advantages to playing a deck with a lot of 4-offs. You know, there's not going to be any game-ending prizing of the 1-offs for the most part. There are some 1-offs in Stefan's deck, but none of them are prized like we alluded to. So let's see what Stefan does. It does have to actually maneuver this Luminion out the active. He does play this Gate Rope. Well, he does have it, I should say. Probably an easy decision there. We could even turn 1 Drapion if you really wanted to, but probably not worth it, though.
You know, it might be worth it. Say if Leon only had 1 Mew out, definitely worth it. Then you just like deal with it, and then Leon has no attacks, but there's 3. So at that point, it's like, yeah, I just want to set up my board and save the Drapion V to take a 3 prize knockout instead of a 2 prize one. Yeah,
and then you just risk the Drapion getting potentially Lost City'd as well. Really, and you don't want that, especially when it's such a get out of jail free card here for Stefan. Looks like he's going to play a quick ball, getting rid of. He does only play 3 copies of Boss, so if he gets rid of that one, 1 is prize. That will leave Stefan with 1 in the deck, as it were. So that could be something to watch out for. And I imagine this one probably finds the Goodra V.
Yeah, probably. You want to get that down, of course, so they can involve it in. Oh, no, actually just going to go for the Comfort. Okay, maybe valuing that second flower selecting more. Or maybe could also have a Goodra V in hand already.
This is true. This is true. I had a great look at Stefan's hand. Yeah, let's have a look. We see an Ordinary Rod. We see a Drapion as a basic energy. And a quick ball. Now, I think that was a V-Star, actually. And I could be wrong. They do look kind of similar from this sort of aerial angle. Let's see what this flower selecting gets here for Stefan.
So, 1 and 2 finds a 2 card we can't really see.
Looks like it was a fairly... And a comp phase going. Okay, it looks like a switch.
Oh, yeah, that is
a switch. That is a switch. Okay.
It's a Hogwarts or Silver switch.
No Goodra V. No Goodra V coming down there for Stefan.
Yeah, so not really ideal, although, I mean, Stefan does have basic attackers that he can work with. There is, of course, the 1 Cramorant that he can use, so if he's able to find that, then if he doesn't want to attack with Drapion, that could be another way to go about attacking. Is there some debate over the coin flip, it looks like? Okay, no, easily resolved.
What dice was going to be used, and it looks like it was a Cramomatic, getting rid of a power tablet.
And it was the heads.
Yeah, it looks like it was the heads, yeah. And it looks like, what do you search? You're going for the Path to the Peak. Interesting one there.
Okay, so I guess that shuts off the Radiant Greninja, which
shuts off the Drapion.
Oh, it does shut off the Drapion as well. That's a very good point. So if Leon does decide to put that down, then Stefan will have to find one of his free Temple of Sinnoh in order to be able to counter it and turn the Drapion back on.
And I quite like this play. Leon identifying, well, if there's no Goodra V down, there is going to be no Goodra V star next turn. The only threat would be a Drapion. We're not 100% sure if Leon knows Stefan's playing a Drapion, but he's playing around it just in case. It's never a bad option.
And also, to be fair, at this stage in the game, we're in the finals. You've probably seen some of the games that your opponent's played. You probably have some idea whether your opponent has it or not. But going very aggressive, actually.
Going with a boss as well. So
yeah, just going to bring up that Luminion, and I guess it makes sense, right? Because Stefan's deck can Aqua Return because it does play Water Energy.
Yeah, no, it can.
So maybe you just want to get the 2 prizes now whilst they're still available, and just have that tempo go in your favor. Makes a lot of sense to me. And there goes the pass to the peak
here
as well.
Here comes the path to the peak. This is really interesting. This actually puts Stefan in a tight position here.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
Let's see what he top decks, but make no mistake about it, Stefan is a little bit on the rope. Does get a quick ball, so we can see a Gudra V at least come down, or I don't know, anything else that we could see. But it's not quite straightforward here, as it were.
Well, especially because, I mean, you have no option to draw more cards either, right? Because your Radiant Greninja is also shut off.
This could be important. Oh. Okay, we do see a Colress. That's quite nice.
Big flower selecting here, as it does find the Colress experiment off of that and can use that to dig further into the deck and maybe try and find that counter Stadium.
Yeah, Stadium Drapion here it seems quite strong, all right, taking 3 prizes, and if Leon doesn't even lost it yet, you have the options to try and ordinary ride it back. Let's see what this Colress gets here. This could be game-defining.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No Stadium.
No, don't see it.
No Stadium. A lot of switching cards and nets, though, so you can try and reuse, you know, these flower selectors over and over again. And make no mistake about it, where it only sees 2 cards at a time, when you combine it with multiple switches and nets, you start seeing 6, 8. And you'd hope at that point you do find what you're looking for. As Stefan does get to 7 in a lost zone now as well, so Mirage Gate is live.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And actually, so Stefan could have picked another switching card as well as the 2 scoop up nets, but actually opted to keep the ordinary rod instead, thinking it's going to be very, very important for later on.
Yeah, and you have to imagine Stefan thinking if the Gudra doesn't want to show up for whatever region I should say, then Drapion is going to be super important, having to reuse it. And here we see a quick ball potentially being played.
Yeah, I guess you want to thin the deck out as much as possible, right, to maximize your chances of hitting that Temple of Sinnoh. No, actually does decide to go for the scoop up net first, so then going for the flower selecting.
Big flower selecting. I see a Comfey, and does it like I think it was a boss's orders?
I think it was, yeah.
I think it was a boss's orders, Giovanni, I believe.
Yeah.
So you probably have to keep that boss, because I think that is the last copy that Stefan has, because 1 hit discard pile and 1 is in the prizes.
So then scoop up net
Here we go again. Comfey, flower selecting. Really important.
Maybe now Stefan goes for the quick ball?
Yeah, now when it gets a little bit more dicier, where it's kind of all or nothing on this turn. Debating, here comes the quick ball, getting rid of, looks like a Comfey or water energy.
I think you want to get rid of the water energy, right? Because at last, if this flower selecting doesn't get the job done, you can still switch into the Comfey again and go for 1 more flower selecting, maybe.
Yeah, I think there's. But then if you draw into the Stadium, you could argue then you can at least Greninja and try and draw some extra cards as well. If you hold on to the energy as well. If that boss goes, that's the only gust I believe that Stefan will have available to him outside of taking it out the prizes. So a real dicey decision.
Yeah, it's very tough, but I think it's probably the correct choice actually, because like you said, if you hit the Stadium, then you might want to be able to draw more cards.
And it looks like the boss's orders has gone. Let's see what he takes here. It looks like going for the Gudra V, at least trying to have some sort of backup option if the Stadium doesn't come down.
Yeah, so there it is. Now, important to note as well that Stefan could, in theory, go for Mirage Gate here, because there are 8 in the lost zone right now, so he has hit that critical mass, as it were.
I mean, I don't think you ever used the basic Gudra V's attack. Rolling Shell 140, it takes 30 less, but Slip and Trip could be kind of interesting, actually, bringing a Genesect in the active and, you know, forcing a switching card from Leon. He does have a path to the peak in play.
So I think with the Slip and Trip, your opponent does the switch.
Oh, you are correct.
Yeah, so they can bring up whatever they want, so Leon would just bring up another Mew.
Just be a Mew. But make no mistake about Leon here, actually...
Oh, he found the Temple of Sinnoh!
Oh, he found... Oh, my God, I missed that one.
Just off the flash selecting now.
Oh my goodness. Oh, there it is, yes! Wow. So you have to imagine, surely the Drapion comes down now, right? In combination with the... Yeah, it looks like toying about it. Did you have a way to switch this?
Well, he has a water energy, so he can just retreat manually, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. So that could be another reason why holding on to that water was super important as well.
That's a very good point. And going to go for the ordinary rod as well, shuffling back in some of the stuff that had to be discarded earlier, including a couple of energies. And I think it was a Zigzagoon and something else?
Zigzagoon and a Luminion.
Oh, right. Yes, that makes sense. Of course, yeah, you want to get that Luminion back in the deck, having access to that Luminous sign at any point in the game just to grab that vital supporter when you need it. Very, very important indeed. Now, okay, Stefan does also have a switch, so could use that instead of the water energy. And now, but now you can just attach the water to the Gudra, then put down the Drapion, Temple of Sinnoh, switch, and boom, the dynamic tail for 3 prizes.
And there it is, the great equalizer for the Mew matchup. Dynamic tail, 3 prize cards taken, 60 goes on the Greninja, and Stefan is, in theory, 1 attack away from winning this game.
And he took the boss out the prizes as well.
Yeah, he did. He did take the boss out the prize. Stefan turning on the pressure here. What can Leon do?
So in terms of what Leon can do, that may be one thing, but we know what he needs to do. He needs to KO that Drapion with a Lost City in play now.
Yeah, there's 2 mini games here. It looks like he's going to play the Roxanne. That's a good start, actually.
Yes.
Leon will shuffle in, get 6. Stefan shuffles in and gets, 2, I believe.
Yeah,
it's 3 after a top deck. So Leon, like you said, can't really just afford to carry this Drapion. Kind of wants to combine it with Velocity as well.
Yeah, because I think that Stefan still has access to one more ordinary rod, right? Because he used one just then to get back the stuff, but he plays 2, and the second one isn't prized either.
And yeah, you could even Rhyhound for that rod as well, in
theory.
There's quite a few options. Let's see what... So we see a Judge, another Judge, a DTE, Cram.
And...
Lost Vacuum. Okay,
wow.
Good. It's interesting. You can Lost Vacuum away the staging, which is one part of the puzzle, right? Because you need to get rid of that at the very least.
Yeah.
Looks like getting rid of a Judge. That makes perfect sense. Gets to hold onto the Cram as well at this point, so you can combine that with an item, hopefully on the back of some of these Fusion Strike systems. Yeah. Here we see the DTE attached, and here we go, Fusion Strike system.
1, 2, and 3. Okay. No losses yet, but can maybe go for the Cram here to get it.
Potentially. Did actually need the modifier as well to get the KO on a Drapion. Big flip here.
Oh, it's a
and
Tails.
It's a Tails. It's a 5. Genesec's going to have to draw him out of this Quick Ball. Mew, Ultra Ball. Oh, okay, well, that finds the VMAX is at the very least.
Yes,
so we did need that as well. It's one part of the puzzle.
Yep.
One part of the puzzle.
Absolutely.
Ultra Ball's so good in these Mew decks, letting you get cards out of your hand so you can draw more. He even has a Quick Ball as well. It's a very nice Ultra Ball as well, by the way.
Oh, it is, yeah. although I actually did decide to discard the Quick Ball with the Ultra Ball there.
Interesting. Okay. I wonder what the other cards were to choose to get
a little bit too important.
Yeah. But so this still has 2 Genesec's left, and that's one big upside to playing 4 DTE version over Meloetta version. You get to often make use of 4 Genesec's. An incredible draw engine.
Yeah, it really is. And yeah, because now Leon's he's played only 2 Genesec's, but he still is fending through all the cards in the hand and can now go for a 3rd Fusion Strike system. I mean, chances are he hits it, right? 1, 2, 3, still no.
Does get an Ultra Ball though. And this way, maybe like to have seen the Quick Ball get kept here just so you can thin a little bit more. Because now this Genesect is going to be Last Chance Saloon here. The Lost Cities are in deck. We haven't prized any. Does play 2 copies. Now, I made a mistake about it. It's not really the end of the world if you don't get the Lost City. Because you have given Stefan a 2-card hand start his turn.
Exactly.
The chances of Stefan being able to, rod and then get the Drapion back immediately. But you would like to just slam the door shut on that Drapion and actually force Stefan to actually start using the Gudra. Yeah,
exactly. So I'm sure that... just to even shut off that option, because sometimes even off a Roxanne draw you can get a bit lucky. So I'm sure that they don't want to shut the door on that as much as he can.
Right, here we go. Fusion Strike system for 3. 1, 2,
3. No
Lost City. So the Drapion will be a threat.
Oh.
And that you're gonna have to be worried. Maybe Leon doesn't know Stefan plays 2 rods actually. Maybe not even prioritising the Lost City thing. I've seen 1 rod gone. What are the chances Stefan plays 2? Not a card you often see at a 2 count.
No, not often. But again, this kind of deck it makes sense, right? Because you're going through things in such a way where, especially with wanting to get energy back, because you're discarding them with Radiant Greninja, but you need to make sure in a late game that you can go ahead and Mirage Gate as much as you want. Yeah, wow. So a bit of a struggle there for Leon. I mean, obviously, because Leon got rid of the Temple of Sinnoh with the Lost Vacuum, can still go for the attack at the very least.
Yes.
So, yeah, Drapion will hit the discard pile. So now it's on to Stefan. Does he have the combo to get the Drapion back and just attack the Mew and win?
What sort of gusting options are gone? I'm trying to see. 1 cross switcher. Trying to work out. The escape rope is still prized, so it'd have to be a combination of cross switchers and boss orders to reset a potential rolling on. But here we go over to Stefan. What has Stefan got in these 3 cards?
Okay, so
I see a Chorus's Experiment. That's a good start.
That is a good start. And
a V-Star.
Yeah, so I think even if Stefan doesn't hit the Drapion here, I think he's still going to have a pretty solid turn.
Yeah. And still has the flower selecting as well. So seeing a minimum of 7 cards this turn. What are these 2? A Scoop Up Net and a Ziggy is going to immediately hit in the lost zone. Stefan has no use of that at this moment in time.
No, definitely not a card that's that important in this matchup for the math currently. So now, do you play the Chorus's Experiment first? That's an interesting choice here.
Yeah, that's the age-old debate, isn't it? Do you Chorus or flower selecting? Stefan did opt for the first flower selecting, but here it looks like going for the Chorus Experiment. Do we see the wonder turn of a ordinary rod Quick Ball? No, we did see a Mirage Gate though. That's one piece of the puzzle. We needed that.
That is true, and I think with this, Stefan has the Rolling Iron guaranteed now.
Yes. No, 100%. Yeah, because there's a Scoop Up Net in hand. We've got 1 energy attached. We see the Mirage Gate. as well. And it isn't like this Gudra is going to go anywhere anytime soon. It's always outside of Oko range. And you've got Moisture Star to just wipe away any Techno Blast that Leon might be firing off. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's exactly it, right? You're not even like too worried about, well, rather, if you're not going to be able to attack with Drapion, you do definitely want to make sure you get the Gudra V up and running, because Leon only has 2 prizes left. And that Gudra V, like, if it's just a little standing up by itself, that's not going to end well for Stefan.
No, you are 100% correct. If Drapion doesn't come out, we do need to see the Rolling Iron coming out. And I believe, like you said, I think Stefan has got that locked up.
Yeah, so soon Gudra V and Luminion going to the Lost Zone. Not going to get to use the Luminous Sign after all. But like you mentioned, Mirage Gate in hand, so can get the other energies needed to actually attack this turn. And then the Scoop Net to retreat into, well, to pick up the Comfey and then get into the Gudra V-Star and start doing Rolling Iron.
And Rolling Iron is really interesting because Leon, Rolling Iron only 2 shots of Mew VMAX, right?
Yes, that's right. 200 damage.
Exactly. And Leon could opt to do Psychic Leap, but fill the bench with 2 Mew VMAXs, so there will be no Psychic Leap options. So the Rolling Iron damage will be sticking wherever it goes.
Yeah, this is the tricky thing, right? With because when you're playing the sort of double turbo version, and well, even just generally, right? If you want to like copy the Psychic Leap, you need to leave 1 Mew out in order to be able to do it. So it's a very tricky situation to be in.
Yeah, and sometimes when you're just turboing through like Leon has to, sometimes you have to just see as many cards as possible, and that would require evolving up evolving up that Mew V. There we see the concealed cards. They're getting another Mirage Gate and another V-Star. Yeah,
not necessarily 2 cards that Stefan needs right now, but still digging through that deck, maybe trying to find that Drapion again as soon as he can. He's built up his hand again very nicely, considering he got Roxanne, actually.
Yeah, Roxanne didn't really stick too much, but that is the beauty of the Flower Selecting Chorus engine, is that it can just fill your hand really fast. Opting to play this other Mirage Gate, I wonder where this is going to go.
Maybe you could just put 2 waters on Greninja, or a water and a metal on Greninja.
Yeah, maybe wants to even attach one to the convey to pay retreat and hold on Scoop Up Net, so you can try and reuse Greninja. Save that for that maybe as well.
Yeah, possibly. It's also just gets energies out of the deck, right? It makes it more likely to hit that Ordinary Rod and then the Quick Ball to get the Drapion back out. So you just want to thin the deck as much as possible at this point.
Yeah, that's true. Just trying to, like you said, maximize odds of getting that Drapion back. But as it stands now, without Drapion, Stefan's still in a fine position, rolling on. Leon is only 2 prize cards away from winning, though. Like, we're talking about as if Stefan's one over here, but Leon's still in a good position.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's why it was so crucial for Stefan to actually get this Rolling Iron going if he misses Drapion, because otherwise, that Hisuian Gudra V is going to be very, very easy to pick off.
And there we see the Mirage Gate, 1 on the Comfey, 1 on the Greninja. And there we see Scoop Up, I imagine, on the active.
Yep.
And doing a no, going to go into the next Flower Selecting. And I imagine Stefan is trying to work towards Drapion again at this moment in time. 2 cards are Flower Selecting.
We're going to have a peek at them.
Do we get a little look? Looks like they're debating. Looks like they're both very good.
Yeah, I wonder what they both are.
Escape Rope's one of them.
Oh, okay.
And a capture energy.
Okay.
Oh, both kind of useful actually, right?
Because if you keep the capture energy in hand, then maybe once you draw the rod, you can just
you can just get the Drapion back. Rogue could be good at pushing Mew V out the way. Get damage on both Mew Vs, and then you're just a gust away from winning, or VMAX, I should say.
Yeah, tricky stuff, but it looks like does up to for the Escape Rope in the end. Maybe also thinking an Escape Rope is just another way to switch into another Comfey and do another Flower Selecting as well.
This is all the way. Is there a capture in hand as well? I think there might have been a capture energy in hand as well, actually, which would make that decision
a lot easier.
Yeah, there is. So that probably makes that decision a little bit easier there.
That makes complete sense. So, yeah, just opting to get the Escape Rope just to get the extra Flower Selecting in. Maybe Stefan's thinking if he wants to play the Escape Rope this turn, and actually just go for the Flower Selecting now.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. You have to imagine Leon probably wants to go into the other VMAX there. Or would you even want to offer up Genesect and give up 2 prize cards? No, you probably can't do that because then you're just a gust away from winning. Oof. Yeah, so the Escape Rope's actually really live there as well. But then I guess that would reset a Techno Blast as well, though.
Yes, it would.
So this is really interesting, and this is how I knew this matchup would go. It wasn't going to be a complete barnstormer for any player where they just run away with it. I knew it would be a technical, backwards and forwards, almost like a chess game, as it were, right? Yeah. So many backwards and forwards and counters to the counters and counting resources, and Stefan is really thinking about what to do here.
You always see the cogs turning in his brain, right?
And that's the thing about these real high-tier players is they're not thinking 1 turn ahead. They're probably thinking 2, 3, even 4 turns ahead, right? So every decision is meticulous here. So we are going to see a commitment to the retreat. and it looks like we are going to see a Gudra V hit the active position. It's still a Gudra V at this time. Has it been V-Star?
No,
it has been V-Star.
Yeah.
It has been V-Star. Stefan just very neat with his cards. Can't even tell that there's a card underneath that V-Star.
Yeah, and looks like we'll just be going for the rolling iron here. I guess the thing that Stefan is afraid of is a rope boss combo. We know it's not possible.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's an escape rope in the prizes.
Yeah,
but
that's a good point, actually.
But that would be a way for Stefan to lose this game. So it's back to Leon now. Can he put this together? There is a way still to do this combo with a double cross switcher plus
there is.
boss.
Yeah, double cross switcher plus boss, but there's only 2 copies left for Leon to draw into, since 1 is prized and 1 in the discard pile. Let's have a look at his deck, actually. Echoing Horn's actually really interesting as well.
That's true.
Yeah, so there's 1 cross switcher. There's the boss. I didn't get to see the other cross switcher. I imagine it.
1, 2.
2, yeah, they're both there. They
okay.
are both there. Echoing Horn's actually really interesting as well, because that means if Stefan wants to try and get to a scenario where he goes lone Gudra, you can actually force something back to then force the escape rope boss play as well.
That's
something we might not see this game, but could be something we see in game 2 or even in game 3.
Sure. Although to be fair, if you have a Echoing Horn, you can just like bring up the Gudra and KO it. Like you could already bring like a Gudra V, right?
Bring back another Gudra. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I'm fairly sure there's Gudra V in Stefan's discard pile. Or they, oh no, actually no, the other Gudra V's in the Lost Zone, so actually you can't Echoing Horn back a 2-prizer.
No. So let's see what Leon is doing here. Look, he fails the Ultra Ball. Nothing really you want to take out the deck at the same time. You just want to draw more cards with the Fusion Strike systems. 4 Genesects in play. So do you reckon Leon is going to go for the reset play here?
Yeah, quite possibly. Although, wait, hold on.
I don't even know if he's got enough tablets, though, to reach the 280, right?
No, I don't think so.
Because I mean 2 tablets.
Yeah, because he's been through a lot already. But also, I need to correct myself from just earlier. There is still 1 2-prizer left in Stefan's discard pile. The Drapion he's not been able to get back yet.
Yeah, true. Oh, hold on. So we see the boss. We see an Echoing Horn.
Oh,
wait, no, that's it. Yeah,
he's won.
Echoing Horn boss.
Echoing Horn, the Drapion, the boss's orders to KO it, and there's
there
Leon
it
game
is,
1.
and Leon steals it. Wow. There we go. Echoing Horn, actually a card that we see sometimes being cut. Some people's 61st card, 62nd here, but it is devastating when it comes up in these scenarios.
Wow, so it was like a double reason actually that Stefan needs to find the Echoing Horn, right? Not just to, rather the ordinary rod, not just to get the Drapion back to attack with it, but also to prevent a play like that from happening.
Yeah, and that could be a card that Stefan might not even been playing around. You might not have thought maybe Echoing Horn. Like I said, a lot of new decks I've been cutting it, but there it comes up in super dramatic fashion, stealing that game, going right around that rolling iron, saying, I don't want no part of this. Let me just go around and take that victory.
Echoing Horn is like one of those cheeky cards, right? Yeah, sometimes you forget about it, but then when it hits you at the right moment, you just kind of feel, oh, right, yeah, that's a thing. Oh, I guess I lose now.
Yeah, and the thing is with Echoing Horn, sometimes you draw it in your opening hand, you're like, oh, that's not that good. However, if it can be safe for that late game scenario, in combination with other gusting cards, it can just take prizes where your opponent hasn't been really playing around it and steal games like it has there for Leon. Currently 1-0 up against Stefan Ivanov.
Yeah, and I think, Stefan, there was a potential to do one more flower selecting to dig for the ordinary rod, but I guess sort of thinking that he didn't really want to go for that, just opted for the rolling iron, thinking that, either not knowing that Leon played the Echoing Horn or thinking that maybe the combo was too unlikely to happen. But we kind of see how Leon was able to find it and just piece together a win seemingly out of nowhere.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Mew, right? It might not be the most flashiest deck now. It's not Lugia throwing around energy, and it's not Gudra even reducing damage by so much. But what it can do, it does really well, and that is attack really fast, really hard, and really consistently. And that is how Leon managed to steal that game, just being really consistent, saying, right, you had a cheeky Drapion KO, but I'm going to take 2 prizes here, 2 prizes here, Echoing Horn, 2 prizes there, wrap it up, let's go on to game 2. Leon currently 1-0 up. Stefan playing from behind now.
Yeah, wow. And I mean, Stefan, do not count this do not count this man out just yet. The amount of results behind it, he's going to be fighting tooth and nail to claw back these 2 wins in game 2 and 3, I'm absolutely sure. But now we see, Leon is kind of trying to carve out his own name here a little bit. Yeah,
100%. And I believe in the special event, Bilbao, 7th of September, in Stefan's top 4 game, he actually came back from 1-0. So no stranger to this scenario in these sort of late game, late round scenarios, starting off on the back foot. Stefan's definitely comfortable here. And if anyone is capable of pulling off the reverse sweep, it's definitely Stefan Ivanov.
It sure is. Starting things off pretty well with starting off with the Kasurian Gudra V, and then able to bench a Comfey escape rope into it and go for the first flower selecting, opting to or getting another Comfey from that and putting a switch in the Lost Zone. Then has a capture energy as well to boot. Really pretty nice going there.
Well, we see the Gudra V coming down nice and early this game where it didn't come down last game. While Stefan's doing that prize check, let's look at the prize cards. So for Stefan, just a couple, four energies actually.
Yeah.
Cramorant and Gudra V. Probably not the worst prize cards there, but looking at Leon, I actually prized a copy of Path. He does play 2, but that means there's 1 less for Leon to try and find to maybe, you know, defend himself against Drapion, I should say. Also seeing 1 copy of Cross Switcher and 1 copy of Boss again in the prize card. So Leon working off limited Gust here.
Yeah, and actually priced 1 of his 4 double turbo energies as well, which is pretty rough.
Yeah. So, you know, Leon operating on slightly limited important resources there. But to be fair, he was doing that in the last game and managed to win off limited Gust as well.
Yeah, it's true. Now, Stefan, kind of similar to how it went in the first game, opting to go very early for that Radiant Greninja. So important to have that early consistency. You know, you're discarding water energies, you're drawing cards, you can just put the water energies back later with an ordinary rod. But in those early turns, you need that extra draw to be able to see all your pieces.
Yeah, and Greninja is such a powerful card, being able to, you know, not only just draw cards with his attack, Moonlight Shuriken, which we could see being used here, but doesn't quite work out well, the maths, as a Moonlight Shuriken into 2 VMAXs doesn't actually bring him into range of Rolling Iron, which is unfortunate, but could be really handy. And let's have a look what Stefan got there off the concealed cards. We see a Mirage Gate and a Comfort.
Yes, and I'm sure you absolutely won't mind that. Of course, you want to do as many flower selectings early as you can. Just really get your Lost Zone set up. Get to that critical 7 in the Lost Zone so you can start using your Mirage Gates. As you do see a second flower selecting and a choice between a Metal Energy and a Hisuian Gudra V-Star.
Yeah, interesting. Looks like, was it opted to keep the energy there? No, the V-Star, okay. Yeah. Which makes sense. It could be really hard to find. Stefan doesn't play any Ultra Ball in this list, so finding the V-Star can be quite awkward outside of just manually drawing into it. So
yeah, it's kind of similar to how a lot of the Giratina V-Star lists, similar thing. They don't play any evolution search, right? So if you see a V-Star off your early flower selectings, you kind of have to keep it because you don't know when you're going to get one next.
Yeah, exactly. You have to sort of prioritize that, and you can't take no risks. And I'll just draw into it later because in a deck that sort of has sort of limited draw, you know, with Chorus and flower selecting, sometimes you just hold on to that important resource. Yeah. Going over to Leon, does open a turn with a VIP Battle Pass, a card you love to see in the opening turns as a Mew player, letting you just flood the board with your Genesect and your Mews and just get the game rolling.
Yeah, very, very strong start.
What is in his hand there? Oh, that hand is a bit clogged, you know.
It is a bit.
There wasn't any there wasn't many playables in there. There was a Genesect, I think, of 2 VMAXs and a Stadium, so might not even be able to draw cards there. And this is one of those that often talked about in a card and thing you never want as a Mew player is that Mew hand.
No, definitely not. Battle VIP Pass goes for a Genesect and the Oricorio, actually going to put again that relevant damage reduction, very, very important to stop Hisuian Gudra V-Stars KOing the Genesect Vs. Interesting
to see Leon really prioritising that Oricorio, saying I'm not letting that Rolling Iron start taking KOs on the Genesects.
Yeah, and actually there was a quick ball in the
there was a quick ball, yeah.
Able to use that to discard, is that switch card? Yeah, switch cards, get a second Genesect down and maybe start getting some draw in here, but the rest of the hand doesn't look like it's full of that many playables. Like you mentioned, 2 VMAX.
So you might be starting to draw maybe 1 or 2 in this scenario. I can't see what the other card was. It might have been a big Parasol or something. So, you know, can attach and start drawing 1 or 2, but you don't want to be Fusion Strike system for 1 or 2. You want to start Fusion Strike system for 3, 4, and start building combo to try and find your energy nice and early. You know, try and get Path to the Peak in play even.
Right. Oh, okay. So it wasn't a VMAX. It was actually a regular.
Oh, it was okay.
So actually, his hand was full of playables in the end.
Right, so here we go. Drawing 4 double cross switcher, Forest Seal Stone, Genesect, and Switch card. So. Okay, so cards you can use here, you can use that Forest Seal Stone to start computer searching out 1 card from deck, double cross switcher. Probably not to use now, but that's a card. They're 2 cards you want to hold on to for sure.
Yeah, go to the switch card just to get it out of the hand, switching into the other Mew V. 2 more cards drawn off of another Fusion Strike system. There's not really much you necessarily want to play right now. Oh, there's the Cram-O-Matic though.
Yeah, you want to check the Cram. Here we go, big roll here. What is that Cram going to say? That is a 2. It looks like they are going to count that. Yep, they're going to. Stefan just nodding the head. And let's see what you go for. Going for the DT or Path to the Peak. Looks like going to opt for the DT. Probably identifying that has prized 1. Can be quite hard to find. No search outside of Cram-O-Matic head. So maybe just try and get that nice and early.
Yeah, just it's in these early turns. Obviously, this is one thing that is a little bit of a struggle with. Of course, the DTE build is that you don't really have a turn 1 attack, right? Unlike with the Fusion Strike build. And is that right?
Judge. Yes. Opting to disrupt the hand, and maybe you can say you can always Forest Seal Stone for the DT as and when you need it. Turn 1 Judge trying to really pressure Stefan, saying, are you able to draw out of this? Because next turn I will be able to most likely, take out that Gudra V if it doesn't evolve. Just needs a VMAX DT and a 1 mod, I believe. and really putting the pressure on Stefan once again.
Yeah, that's actually really, really strong because although Stefan does have an engine obviously to dig himself out of low hand sizes, I think it's hard to argue that Leon doesn't have the better engine to draw out of that with the Fusion Strike system. So yeah, very interesting to see what these players draw here. Yeah.
What does Leon get? So a VMAX, a boss, a escape rope, and a cram, and gets to draw 2 more now. 1 and 2.
Another Forest Seal Stone, so that can be a very easy cram fodder.
Yeah, that is cram fodder right there.
Although not for much longer actually. Once the tool rule change comes in.
That is a very interesting point. I never considered that. Right, what Stefan got here? I think basic. I see a Luminion. I see a Mirage Gate, an escape rope. So not too bad. Flower selecting 1 and 2. Let's see what these are. Quick Ball, Metal Energy. Now, that's interesting. I think 1 metal's already hit the bin, and 1 is in the prize cards.
Yeah. So I think you probably want to take Metal Energy here. I don't think there's anything particularly you want to Quick Ball for, because I mean the only thing I could think of is maybe you want to keep it in hand so that you can get a Drapion from it once the Leon evolves the Mew into the VMAX. But no, in this instance, does opt to keep the Metal Energy, and I think that makes a lot of sense.
I guess Metal Energy can also double up as not only an attachment, but there you go. It's going to see for a concealed cards as well. Switch Temple of Sinner. Temple of Sinner is nice actually. It forces Leon to, if he wants to attack next turn, replace the stadium. Yeah,
that's very, very, very true. Finds another Comfy as well, and with the Luminion also in hand, can use Luminosine to grab any supporter that he wants. But plenty of options for Stefan. Not seeing necessarily the most obvious route, although maybe actually you just go for the Chorus's Experiment and try and fuel your Lost Zone.
Yeah, I believe that's probably what you're going to do here.
Yeah.
Just fill cards in the Lost Zone, try and grow your hand with options. And there is a world here which maybe, if you get a few scoop up nets and switching cards, you can actually get to that 7 now. Play that Mirage Gate, and there's not a world. I mean, there is a world here where the Roiling Iron comes out this turn.
Yeah, that would be absolutely insane if it did happen. There's you need 2 more Flower Selectings after the Chorus Experiment to get there, which is not unreasonable by any means.
Not unreasonable. We haven't seen any scoop up nets being used here from Stefan, though, so that'll probably be the gateway for that play to open up, as it were. So looks like we're going to see the Chorus being played just as Leon cuts the deck there, and let's see what these 5 are.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let's see a V-Star, Temple, a Roxanne, an Energy. I can't tell what the card on the most left is, though.
No. I didn't. One thing I didn't think I saw was any means of doing too many more flower selecting. So I guess it V-Star. It's a Boss's Orders, actually, the other one. So that's not ideal, actually.
Probably not what you wanted to see there off the Chorus. And there's another sort of potential drawback there of the Chorus engine, is that you're only seeing 5 and you only get to keep 3. It's not the most outrageous of dig there, is it?
No, it's not. And also, the stuff that you don't dig for is like gone with no potential for recovery as well.
Yeah, it's gone forever, as it were. So Stefan, 5 in the Lost Zone here. Does have 1 copy of Switch in hand, I believe, right? So can go for another flower selecting. But I think at that point, that might be Last Chance Saloon there for the cards getting in the Lost Zone.
And, I mean, he is going to go for it here. I think there's kind of no better option to go for. So 2 more cards of flower selecting. What does Stefan hit?
So consulting the hand. Just seeing what have I got in hand. Let's have
a bit of a gander. Who uses X-ray vision to look through the back of the sleeve to see what it is.
Looks like it's going to be probably the bottom card being taken. Hopefully, maybe we'll be able to piece together what it is. This is a big decision, whatever this is, though. Those cogs are turning again.
I mean, you kind of end up in the situation whenever you're playing any kind of Lost Box variant, right? Because you play 60 cards because they're all 60 good cards. So, you don't want to Lost Zone anything, but sometimes you have to do stuff like that and Lost Zone a Mirage Gate.
Yeah, I think it was a Gudra V-Star. Was it a basic, actually?
I think it might have been the basic.
It might have been the basic, yeah.
Okay.
Now, that's interesting, because if you put down that basic, it's going to be 1 more basic to evolve. And if it doesn't evolve, that's easy prize cards for Leon if it doesn't evolve, right? That's just a Gust 1 mod. And does put it down. This is really an interesting wrinkle here for Stefan. We'll need to evolve that to make it at least harder for Leon to KO.
I guess what Stefan's thinking is, because my setup for this turn is not really great, I need to get multiple Gudra Vs down, because there's a chance that Leon just brings one up for Boss's Orders and KOs it. So I need at least another one to be able to work with.
No, you are 100% correct there. But even the Luminion is around as well. There's multiple. Here we see a Chromatic. That was a... Oh, looks like we're seeing a re-roll there. Was that roll?
I think it went off the table.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but there's a heads. Oh.
Yeah, Stefan's saying it's all right. Don't worry about it. Stand up, gentlemen.
Yes.
What do you think Leon takes it? Is it DTE?
DTE, Leon has a boss in hand.
Oh, it's boss in hand already?
So
okay. So Leon probably goes after the one with energy as well, just making it even harder.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's the twos that are the same other than that. I may as well go for the one with energy, right? It means that you have to get an energy from hand as well as a Mirage Gate in order to attack her with the one that doesn't have energy on it.
And once again, here we see the pressure of Mew. Might not be the most craziest deck in format. What it is good at doing is taking prizes at a fast rate.
Yes.
Has the choice belt attached, right? So it doesn't even need to find a modifier. Gets to draw 4 cards after. It's a double cross switch is very nice. Wait, is there escape rope there as well? Oh,
yes.
So that means if Rolling Iron does come out, we do see the escape rope plus double cross switcher. Leon already having a choice belt, meaning we only need to find 2 tablets to do the escape rope gust back after the Rolling Iron to take a KO.
Yeah, and actually, very crucially here, Leon will be taking 2 prizes here, but that means that Stefan has no options for hand disruption, because the only disruption that he has is Roxanne, and you can't play that, of course, until Leon's taken 3 prizes.
So it looks like Leon is in a very commanding position here. You want to hold that escape rope and double cross switches for your life, because if that Rolling Iron comes out, that is your out, and you already have the choice, but it's so huge. Only needs to find 2 power tablets.
Yeah. And, I mean, so considering this turn is going the way it is, I think Stefan's next move here has to be just, going for the Drapion being and taking a free prize knockout. You have to bring tempo back in your favor somehow.
Now, those cards of the Fusion Fight system weren't the greatest, to be honest. We see a DT and a Battle VIP pass, but I think this turn is going to be rather good. I think you're in an okay scenario here. Oh, looks like maybe considering. Was he considering playing the cross switches there? Looked like he was maybe maneuvering them.
No, I think he's more just looking at his hand and thinking if there's anything he can play just to thin out his hand to draw more. And he hasn't used his Star Alchemy yet either, so he actually just flips that over the V-Star marker, goes for the Star Alchemy on the Forest Steelstone. To grab a pass to the peak, of course.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Just turning off the Greninja, turning off any other extra, cards that Stefan might play. Well, mainly turning off the Drapion, actually. Yeah,
like you mentioned game
wow,
one.
Yeah, so really putting the pressure on. I mean, Stefan does have a big hand, though, so there's a high chance there's a counter stadium in there. But again, just forcing issues, forcing cards.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I did remember seeing this to the Temple of Sinnoh in Stefan's hand. So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate for Leon, but like you said, you got to force the out, right?
Yeah, just forcing. That's one thing you have to do in these scenarios. Just keep asking your opponent. You need to get over this hurdle and this hurdle and this hurdle and this hurdle. And let's see what Stefan does here. Starting off the turn with a flower selecting. Let's see what Stefan does. Can he sort of claw this game back? Because as it stands now, I would say Leon is in the driver's seat.
I would say.
Wait, is there a stadium there? That second card on the left, is that it?
Second card on the right, next to the.
Second card on the right, I should say. Yes.
Next
Okay, so there is a
counter
stadium.
I'm fairly sure that's a Temple of Sinnoh, at least. It looks like one.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, poor Zigzagoon going to the Lost Stone again.
Oh, quick ball. There's a quick ball, so Drapion is live.
I think it's. I think he's got it right. As long as as long as it is a counter stadium that we see in the hand, which I'm fairly sure it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we just saw it there. So.
No, is there another quick ball? No, that's one you just got. Okay.
Yeah. So I think there's even. Oh, you don't actually want to play the escape rope though. So you need to get this Comfort out the active. Is there a way to do that without playing escape rope?
I mean, maybe you can search for one, right? As soon as you play Temple of Sinnoh, you have the option to draw more cards with the Radiant Greninja. You just go for another concealed cards. I think that Stefan has an energy in hand.
Yeah, maybe there's one knocking about. You have to just imagine if he takes this Drapion with such confidence of this quick ball, he must have a way to make use of it.
You think so, right? Yeah.
So here we go again. Drapion coming now. The Gudra is struggling, but I think Drapion is a mighty finer backup attacker, taking 3 prizes in one go on a basic.
And here's the thing, right? Like the last time, the Drapion is something you have to deal with immediately. There's no option for Leon to go after the Hisuian Gudra V whilst it's unevolved, because if you're doing that, you're not dealing with the Drapion and you lose the game. So
it almost reminds me when you're playing against Lugia, how you have to deal with the Amazing Ray Yveltal. You can't just
no.
As tempting as it is to try and go around, you got to deal with it, because if you don't, it's going to come straight back. I like this as well, getting that Gudra ready.
And Mirage Gate means that even if Stefan doesn't have any other outs to retreat in his hand, at the very least he can just attach an energy to this Comfort and retreat manually.
You are correct there. So let's see what Stefan opts to take here. Obviously going to be a combination of water and metal, one of each. And let's see where they go here. That might tell us what Stefan's got in his hand. If one of these go to the active, then maybe he hasn't got a way to retreat and will have to use these. But if they both go to the ad, one's going to the active. So that is how this comp phase will be maneuvering around. So yeah, so we've got Drapion in hand, we've got the counter stadium. Drapion will be coming out and it will be taking 3 prizes with that dynamic tail, putting Stefan in the lead here of this game too.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, it doesn't mean that Leon's lost it yet, like not by any means. Like, you know, this he's still taking the first 2 prizes of the game. The Drapion will go down almost like, you know, immediately afterwards, basically. And then Stefan doesn't necessarily have a super easy way to get the KO back on another VMAX, unless, of course, the Drapion gets KO'd without a Lost City and he can ordinarily run it back and, you know, do the plays we were talking about in game 1. And
here's, like we said, the counter to the counter. So now Leon now has to find a counter stadium. And let's not forget, Leon is holding double cross switch and escape rope and really doesn't want to play them. So we'll have to hold on to them, potentially clogging up his own hand.
Yeah, and actually, Stefan wants to play the ordinary rod now. Okay. Maybe he's expecting the Drapion V to get Lost City away here?
Yeah, maybe. Just thinking, you know what, I'm not going to hold this card now. I'll get back some resources that I will need on the assumption that, yeah, Lost City does come down. But wow, this is actually and again, the pendulum of power swinging right back to Stefan, saying, can you deal with this? Because you're going to have to.
Yeah, and I guess there could also be a potential of Stefan thinking, I want to get the card out of my hand in case there's a Roxanne that comes down. But you're now putting more cards in the deck, so it's, yeah, I don't know, a little bit of a tricky one here. But in any case, yeah, Stefan will be taking 3 prizes after just finishing resolving the Mirage Gate, attaching the water from that onto the Hisuian Guja V-Star. Dynamic Tail knocks out the Mew VMAX, 3 prizes for Stefan, and now it's back on Leon to see how he can answer this.
Oh, Echoing Horn coming back though. But I believe, Stefan shuffled in the basic Guja V, so won't we see Echoing Horn at least immediately?
Yeah, well, also, I mean, Stefan's bench is full right now anyway. So
so it is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So plays the escape rope. Oh, going for this now. Basically saying, okay, I'm going to KO, I'm going to try and, KO the Drapion and then maybe try and close out the game with the Luminion instead. I'm just saying I don't have to go around the Guja. I don't have to carry it out. I'm going to go after Luminion instead.
And sort of playing the sort of the rope plus cross switcher just to get the cards out of hand to be able to draw more again with the Genesect and finding the Roxanne as well. Very, very important find.
So this is looking good so far, but Leon does have to find a stadium here though, because as it stands now, cannot attack. If a stadium is found, the Drapion will go down. But as it stands now, still needs to find a stadium. It's going to see a Roxanne, so it does get 6 trading cards and then has 2 Genesects as well.
Yeah.
But in Stefan's hand, back down to 2 though.
And again, ideally wanting to find that Lost City so that Drapion goes to the Lost Zone and just isn't an issue anymore.
Yeah, this is actually quite scary for Stefan here though. Let's see what Leon gets. Oh, we see this Lost City as well! Oh my goodness!
That's absolutely huge, and that's exactly what Leon needs in order to seal the temper back in his favor. This is a huge, huge draw.
Wow. That is incredible. And what else have we got in that hand? There's a boss as well, and the Echoing Horn. Do you know what that means? You can just boss the Luminion, even if it gets shuffled in. You can just go after the. Sorry, excuse me, because the Drapon's getting sent to the Lost Zone. Apologise. Yeah, I was going to say you can Echo on it back, but you want to get it straight into the Lost Zone. So there's no chance of it getting used again.
But even then, like if you're forcing Stefan to doing an Aqua Return, that's really, really bad, right? You want to be doing Rolling Iron because that's how you protect yourself. But then if you did Rolling Iron, you just lose the boss's orders. So
so
very, very tough for Stefan here.
Yeah, and let's not forget Stefan has to maneuver this scenario with 2 cards in his hand. Like, wow.
This was an absolutely crucial turn here for Leon, basically finding exactly what he needs. Unlike the last time he Roxanne, where he didn't really hit the stadium, well, he didn't hit Lost City or anything like that, but in this instance, finding everything, the perfect draw to be able to counter Stefan's play, and now Stefan's really, really got his back against the wall.
Yeah, this is such a crucial scenario, having that Luminion down, meaning, you can't Aqua Return because you're not rolling iron. That makes the Gudra vulnerable to being KO'd, and wow, those 2. There is a Colress actually as one of those 2 cards. So probably one of the best cards. Okay, 2 Colress. Okay, you can only play one of them, but here we go. Let's see how does Stefan maneuver out of this turn. This is definitely getting dicey here for Stefan. If he cannot maneuver around here in a good way, Leon actually has win in hand.
Yeah. Do you maybe quick ball the other Colress away just so you have more chance to draw something you need? No, Stefan decided not to right now. And what do you see up there?
Ordinary Rod. That would have been good if the Lost City didn't come down.
Yeah, that would have been pretty perfect. But unfortunately, right now, not really what you need.
Probably see what net. Probably see both the nets maybe, so you can try and you can use flower selecting more.
I mean, dude, let's be honest, really, what Stefan needed to see that turn was a Roxanne, right? A Roxanne of his
Yeah,
own.
no, that would have been,
Yeah, because at least that way, then maybe you disrupt Leon's hand and he can't redraw into the boss's orders. But now I actually think there's nothing Stefan can do.
No, it's looking really dicey. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure because Leon has the boss. Wouldn't even need a modifier, actually. I guess would need to find a switching out.
But wait, doesn't Leon also have the rope already?
I think he played the rope.
Did he?
Played the rope.
Did he? Oh yeah, he did.
He
Of course, yeah, to get cards out of his hand earlier. Yeah, of course we saw that. So that's not an option. How many switching cards did he both realize? So much here going on.
No, there's literally so much going on. This is so exciting. We want to make sure we get this all 100% correct. But as it stands now, Leon is definitely in the driver's seat. Can't quite. Here we do see the Mirage Gate though. Okay. So
very important find.
This is very good. At least forcing a rolling iron here. Has to be.
Yeah, and yeah, it is so tough because I think maybe you do just need to, Aqua Return, go into the Hisuian Gudra restart, hope your opponent doesn't have enough damage modifiers.
I think that might be the way. Nope, okay. It looks like they're going to the Gudra.
I guess you could also put up a single prizer and force the boss's orders as well as the damage modifiers. That would probably make more sense, actually.
That would, yeah.
But no, instead, actually, Stefan just saying, right, you know what? I need to attack with this Hisuian Gudra restart. I'm just going to Mirage Gate onto it, and I'm going to play as if you don't have boss's orders because I lose to it anyway. Yeah, no,
I think that's how you have to play now. And just hope they haven't got it because I lose to it anyway. What are these two cards going to be? Capture energy. Oh, was that double capture? It might have been double capture.
Yeah, it might have been. And but again, I'm not even sure what Stefan's trying to dig for here because you don't have the option of being able to do the Aqua Return here. You don't have the option of Roxanne either because you already played a supporter.
Maybe, if I can think of his Temple, just trying to make it trying to make it as hard for Leon as possible, right?
Make it so that Leon has to find one more out. Makes complete sense.
Yeah, again, just trying to ask Leon as many questions as possible. The problem is of asking Leon questions, Leon can see a ton of cards with Fusion Strike system, whereas Leon's making Stefan answer questions, where Stefan is only flower selecting chorus, not the sort of turbo draw.
No, it's very, very tricky. Stefan's doing everything he can. Of course, he's going to play this to the absolute end. He's not a kind of player to give up at all. He's one of the best players in the world without a doubt, and he's going to give it his all to try and overcome Leon. But we might see an underdog upset here.
Potentially, but the game isn't over by any means. So Stefan, not the player you want to be staring against. No matter if you're 1-0 up, doesn't matter. What are these two cards going to be? We're going to see a Temple. Getting rid of a Raihan.
Well, you can't play it at this turn.
Yeah, can't play it this turn.
But he's debating it. Well, what was the other card?
I don't know. What is
There's a capture energy.
Wow, okay. Well, you said you can't really play the Raihan this time. I feel as if this turn is really crucial here.
Yeah.
This is the make or break turn, as it were.
And then
here we see a concealed card. Oh, that's why
that makes sense.
One, two. No. Escape rope. Still no Temple.
There is the potential for one more flower selecting, I think, if you retreat manually with the capture energy, but then you have to play another switching card in order to get the Hisuian Gudra V-Star active.
You could also argue if you was to play the rope, you reset the Techno Blast, which is one making it a little bit easier there for Leon. So that looks like going to pay retreat.
Yeah, retreat.
Just opting to end it here. So I think as it stands now, then Leon
just needs to get the...
Yeah, just needs to switch around first. Yeah, switch around.
And go. So we know he has the boss. Does he have the switch out? There was one cross switcher in hand. Does he have two? No, I don't think there's one disco pass.
No, there's two. They're both there. That's it. He had them both in hand. Leon is our Liverpool 2023 champion. Mew VMAX taking it all home.
Huge congratulations to Leon. The underdog story comes true again. And unfortunately, Stefan is going to have to settle for another second place this season.
Yeah, commiserations there to Stefan. I feel as if played it well, but I think Mew VMAX was just doing what Mew VMAX does best, just attacking really fast, really hard, taking prizes in a fast way, and even Drapion wasn't able to get Stefan out of there. No. Yeah, you can sort of see the setup-y deck in Hisuian Gudra V-Star that needs to get stuff in the loss zone, needs to get energy attached to get his strategy rolling, against the polar opposite with Mew that just says, I'm going to bang, 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 attack turn 2, take prizes fast, and sometimes just taking prizes fast is the way to go.
Yeah, Leon's got to be absolutely beaming right now. A breakout performance, going from a top 32 to now winning his first regional championships. You've got to be absolutely chuffed with yourself.
Yeah, you must take a bow, young fella. You have done really well there. You've piloted that really well, played it perfectly, and got yourself a regional championship victory. What a day for Leon.
Yeah, what a day for Leon. Absolutely huge for him. Again, massive. We can't say enough congratulations, really, especially to go up against someone like Stefan Ivanov in the finals and beat him as well. That's got to add the extra little cherry of sweetness on top.
Yeah, exactly. Doing it the hard way there. Beating Stefan in the finals. No slouch by any means. And, commiserations there to Stefan. Probably didn't draw the best in that finals, I'd like to say, but did have the outs, had the Temples, had the Drapions, But Leon was just able to answer those questions. And when you can draw, 5, 10, sometimes 15 cards, when you see 4 Genesects, you can just draw so many cards and piece together the puzzle. We saw the escape rope double cross switcher. We saw double cross switcher at the end. And Leon actually prized some of his Gust, but it doesn't matter when you can just draw so many cards and find the remaining Gust anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this has been a recurring theme, I think, in a lot of the regionals we've sort of casted over the ones that have been on stream over the course of this season. We've seen so many breakout stars. Like we've seen, the old stars come up against the new and upcoming faces, and a lot of times it seems like the rising stars, the newcomers, end up winning, and they're actually taking the upset.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic to see. Like, I think over COVID, a ton of new players brought new eyes to the game, and now they're coming here to the regionals, looking at the game in a new way and taking these big wins against some of these older guard players who we've known have been doing well for so long, and it's forcing everyone to adapt, and I'm all here for it.
Yeah, so am I. And okay, and you got to say now. So second at Bilbao, second again at here. It's still two insanely impressive performances from Stefan. He's got to be still very, very happy with himself. But how much hungrier is he going to be for that big win right now?
I was about to say, I'm sure whatever event Stefan's going to next, whether it's Bremen or OCIC, I'm sure he's going to be hungry for that dub, and he's going to play extremely well. But like I said, massive congratulations to Stefan. Let's not make no mistake about it. Brought Hisui and Gudra V-Star to a tournament where I don't think many other people even considering Hisui and Gudra V-Star, almost taking a new rogue deck, as it were, to this event and getting second place. That's still a fantastic finish.
Yeah, it really absolutely is. So after 2 incredibly exciting days of games, we are now right here. We've just seen our finals, and Shay, it's been incredible casting with you. There's been so many incredible games over the course of the 2 days, like I already said. What's been your favorite moment of casting of this regional championships?
Right, there's a few. Casting Sander, that was really fun. I enjoyed that. But it's got to be Cherim Snorlax, not only getting it on stream, but then getting a W against Lugia V-Star, most people's best deck in format. That Snorlax, all the heads being rolled, even Cherim getting an attack with Choice Belt, and it was being super relevant. I was so hyped to see that on stream and do well.
That was quite a sight to behold. Something that neither of us could ever predicted. And something, actually, I say something that neither of us could ever predicted. You said right at the beginning, I want someone to maybe bring the spice. And what could be more spicy than Cherim Snorlax?
Cherim Snorlax in day 2 beating a Lugia on stream. And you could also argue his Lost Box version of Hisui and Gudra V-Star getting to the finals. We have seen some success with Gudra V-Star with Arceus. I don't think we've seen too much success with it, though, with a Lost Box style, and they got all the way to the final. So I'd like to say my prediction was a little bit correct there.
Yeah, well, it's a very interesting point, actually, because when the Hisui and Gudra V-Star was first being experimented with, I think people were experimenting more with this more Lost Box version, thinking it might be the better engine to play it with. But then the Arceus version kind of took over from that, and that was the one that ended up obviously winning a previous regional championships, as we saw over with Hale, right, over in the US. But now it seems like it's kind of flip-flop back, and actually the Lost Box version is the better one?
Yeah, it seems that way, letting you utilise, Cramormance and letting you be a little bit more meticulous with your draws via Colress instead of having to, maybe research stuff for when, anything like this. And it's really interesting to see the Lost Box Gudra do so well. I wonder if, for OCIC, I think is the next event, if that will now be a force, because getting second place at one of the biggest regionals in Europe, you might have to take it seriously now as a deck.
Yeah, I guess so, right? It's one of these new contenders, kind of like how the Vikavolt deck variants emerged and did very well in Europe as well. Now those are things you have to think about. This is another thing you have to think about now.
Another thing you have to think about. But Fair, if I was to ask you what your favourite moment was casting over these 2 days, what would you say?
Okay, you know what? This is going to sound very, very cliche, but no, not even cliche. That's not the right word for it. But when this wasn't a moment when I was casting, but seeing you go out and do the walk, it's just that was a sight to behold. That was just going with random folks, and then busting your moves with Pikachu as well.
Getting Pikachu.
Put the biggest smile on my face.
A little bit nervous, I must say. I was like, right, I'm going to give you the mobile camera share, and off you go and make some content. It's like, all right, see what we can do. Looking around the room, that was pretty fun. Reminds me a bit of the the Formula 1 was it pit lane?
The grid walk,
yeah. The grid walk, that was very fun. Let us know in the Twitch chat if you like that. Maybe we can do that some more.
Although, if we're talking about strictly something that I was involved with personally, actually, I really enjoyed doing the interview with Stefan Eriksson. Sort of when we were having a chat with him, because knowing especially he'd never had a chance to be interviewed on stream before. Actually, that was his first ever stream interview, and we got to talk about all sorts of interesting stuff. We talked about the game's history, his own background, sort of how math is involved in the game as well. That was honestly we could have talked for hours. I think when we were there together. So that was really cool moment. Yeah,
it was really fun to get the staff involved there, and seeing that it's shining a lot on a part of the game I don't think a lot of players actually think about, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, it is. Now, I think that's going to be all from us.
I believe so.
Yeah, Shay, it's been an absolute pleasure. Do you have anything else you'd like to say before we throw it over to the main stage?
First, thanks. I want to say thank you to you, Freddie. You've been a fantastic casting partner. Honestly, it's been a blast. I've had so much fun. We've been able to get really hype on stream, which is really fun. And shout out to all the production crew as well. You don't get to see because this camera's pointing this way, but if you was to turn the camera that way, there's a whole ton of fantastic people. They put a ton of work in, and they make our jobs as easy as possible. Without them, there wouldn't be any streams like this as well.
Absolutely. To what you said, I'll say the pleasure's all mine, and the feeling is very much mutual. It's been an absolute pleasure casting with you as well, and pretty much just to echo your words, shout out to everyone involved making this happen, the production crew, as Shay's already mentioned, but also all the judges and staff as well. I mean, I feel like sometimes, the judge role can be a bit of a thankless one. No one wants to be the subject of a judge call, but they are there to help proceed the event smoothly, and without them, these events could happen. So a huge shout out to all the judge staff and all the tournament organisers and everyone that made this event possible as well.
100%. We have one more little quick shout out, if I can. Shout out to Demetrius Eaton getting his top 32 there. On the top 16, I believe. It was a pleasure getting involved with his winner interview. But I do believe the winner interview is ready. The stage is set, so I think we're going to throw it over to there. Thank you so much, everyone that's been involved, and all the viewers as well.
Goodbye and good night. And over to the stage.
And with that, the Liverpool Regional 2023 has concluded. We started off with 757 players here in the Masters Division. We fought through 14 rounds of Swiss, and we ended here in the top 8 in the final with an amazing final between Stefan Ivanov and Leon Kesselring. What an amazing performance from both players to make it all this way, and they most definitely are ones to watch for future tournaments. Stefan Ivanov, a very experienced player, and with that, I'd like to introduce to the stage our runner-up, Stefan Ivanov. So Stefan has done an amazing job so far. He's always been a player to watch in these tournaments, and I think it's fair to say we'll be seeing more of Stefan in these top 8s for the rest of the season. But really, this was a story of an underdog, a player from Switzerland, someone we didn't expect to see here, but has shown incredible skill throughout their journey. They have shown that their deck has been mastered perfectly before the event, but not only that, they played it with perfection on stage. I'd like to welcome to the stage our winner of the Liverpool Regional, Leon Kesselring. Oh, just knocked over a camera on the way up, but it's all good. Congratulations, Leon. I mean, I'm going to ask you, how are you feeling right now, Leon?
Absolutely amazing. I missed the flight for this, and I couldn't be happier. I'm just overwhelmed with everything.
So you said you got a flight home that you had to stay for so that you could win this tournament. I guess that comes with the sort of expectation for you. It's not always you're going to make these top 8. This is your first top 8, and you've gone on to win the whole regional. What was it about this event that you felt like made it so special for you?
I think it was just the people. Like, I came back, I was feeling a bit down, and then seeing all my friends again, it just made me so happy. And like, then also doing well on top of that, it just reminded me again why I love playing Pokemon. And then especially also getting the win for Switzerland, the first time a Swiss person wins a regional. So I'm really happy to have accomplished that.
I want to ask now, with this win, it puts you in a really good spot to get travel awards in the future, and I guess the motivation now to continue competing and go on and do more events. Is this something you're going to try and take a bit more seriously and try and like work harder on, or is it still just something you love doing as a passion?
I'm going to be honest, I'm in my final year of high school, so I'll probably be a bit more focused on that, but I'll try to pour as much time into Pokemon as possible.
I guess for me then, I'm going to have to watch out for you after that high school is done and see what you can do in the future. So Leon, you mentioned your friends who kept you happy and motivated. Is there anyone else you want to thank, maybe some of the people you helped test the deck with?
Well, first off, I want to thank my mother for traveling with me and always supporting me in this hobby. And then second of all, Julius, who's been probably my longest lasting friend in Pokemon. And then just to all of my other friends, I would go on counting everybody, but I think we don't have time for that.
Well, thank you very much, Leon. I think with that, one last round of applause from everybody here who stayed around. It's been an amazing event, and congratulations again, Leon. You played amazingly, and hopefully we'll be seeing more of you in the top 8s. So that's it. That's the event done. I would like to thank everybody who's been watching the stream at home. Hopefully you've enjoyed the event. We've had a great time here at Liverpool. Everyone in the arena has had a great time. It's been an amazing regional, and I hope everyone at home continues playing Pokemon, enjoys themselves, and hopefully we'll see you at the next event. Thank you.